Very nice to meet you. Can I call you Ali?
Yeah. Yes.
Is that good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a great pleasure for have this interview as you embark new role as the African Command, and SNTV, Somali National TV is very helpful, grateful for that interview. Let me ask you first, we want to know about you visiting in Somalia right now. What is that behind this journey, come to here, Mogadishu?
Time to talk tonight. I appreciate that. Agreeing to interview me and taking the time to talk tonight. I appreciate that. So the reason I'm coming to Somalia is for a couple of reasons. One, I'm the new commander at AFRICOM. And I came here to Somalia, to East Africa first, because of the importance of this region. It sits at the crossroads of the world. There's incredible opportunities here, but there's also incredible challenges, and you know them well. We have terrorist threats from Al-Shabaab, which is an Al-Qaeda affiliate, who is cooperating with the Houthis. We have ISIS up in the north, that's not just in the Golis Mountains, but is spreading across Africa. So I'm very concerned about what's happening here, and I wanted to come and assess that as the new commander. And while I'm the new commander at AFRICOM, I am not new to Africa. I was a previous commander at Special Operations Command at Africa, and I've been to this region several times. I've traveled across Africa, and I've seen how this threat continues to threaten the people of Africa. And so that's why I'm here to assess the situation and how it's changed.
What can you tell about the officials, Somali officials you've met so far?
Some of the officials that I've met?
Yeah.
Well, I met with your president today. I met with your chief of defense forces earlier today. And I've continued to meet with some of the other forces and really talking to the American forces that are here, the American forces that are working side by side with the Somali forces, with the Kenyan forces, with the other partners, the Ugandans that are here, in order to help them and continue to train and build capacity.
So the main topics you have covered with the officials is counterterrorism and all this stuff.
So my job is to provide for the safety and security of the American people. Part of that is working with our partners when we have a common threat to address that and protect all our homelands and protect all of our children.
So how do you assess the security situation in Somalia and the region as well?
Like I said before, it's challenging. The security situation here is very challenging, as you well know, and anyone who lives in this region. Al-Shabaab is working as an Al-Qaeda affiliate, very directly connected. They are working with the Houthis across the Red Sea. They are disrupting and creating problems for many nations. ISIS is in the north, and again, not just isolated there. And so when I look at this, those threats, those shared threats, are what we want to look at. How do we address that in order to protect our homelands? That's our number one priority. It's your number one priority, right? How do we protect our homelands? How do we protect our children? We all want a future for our kids. And part of that is addressing these threats.
So, as you mentioned, you've met the president of Somalia, and the Somali security forces very heavily depend on you as American. They are very grateful about your support. And you mentioned the great challenges that posed by Al-Shabaab and other terrorist groups that you are going to tackle or help Somali security sector.
So I'm here to assess the current situation. You are right. We have provided quite a bit here in this region. The Americans are the number one provider of military support and training to Somalia. We also work with several other African partners that are committed to helping Somalia. And so with that, we have brought training and equipment and over a decade of engagement. As a matter of fact, an example of that right now is what just happened recently in the Golis Mountains, where ISIS is, where we worked with our partners there in Puntland to provide what only the United States can provide, to provide intelligence, targeting, and selective airstrikes. But we enabled the partner who had the will to go up into those mountains and go after the ISIS, to go after the terrorists, and to hold territory so they couldn't come back. When we can find that common ground, then we can have success together, and we can enable our African partners to protect and provide security for their people.
What are the United States goals in Somalia? Has the new administration changed its policy toward Somalia? Will it?
So I can't comment on policy. I don't make policy, I execute it. I will execute the orders of the President of the United States, whatever policy they choose. So I don't know, I can't comment on that. But what I can say is we have been committed, and we have worked in Somalia for several years, and the dhowaada is a great example. One of the most capable fighting forces on the continent. And we have worked with them for well over a decade in order to build their capacity, to continue training with them, and to continue providing those things that the U.S. can provide in order to help them be successful in defending their people. So we have a history of continuing to do that. I don't know what the future brings, but I do know we share a common threat.
Do you prepare that the African Command or U.S. positions or bases increasing across Somalia? Do you have some bases?
I can't comment to that, I don't know. And I'm here doing an assessment in my first 2 weeks. Again, because of the threat and the criticality of this location, this is my first trip. And so I'm assessing the situation, and I will go back to Washington, D.C. I will let them know what I see and understand, and then my political leaders will make the decision on the policy, and they'll make the decision on what our posture is.
So lastly, do you have any advice to the Somali people as long as you work with the leaders?
I think my advice to the Somali people is to have faith, to continue to look for their children's future, and to do what's right. Sometimes that means you have to fight. Sometimes it means you have to, but you have to be willing to address the threat. You have to have the will to have a better life. I think that's what we in America are founded on. People with hopes and aspirations to have a better life, and when given the opportunity, pursue that. And so my advice to the Somali people is to pursue a better life, to go after and not accept these terrorists, and to build a better future for their children and our children and our world.
Thank you, General, for this interview and for this opportunity as the Somali National TV have an interview first that you have embarked this new role as your head of African Command. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ali. I appreciate it.